Today on Pioneer Smokehouses, we're going to try out some of this spice rub. I've belonged to a lot of different barbecue groups, and a lot of people ask all the time, what's the best spice rub? I've seen this one on the advertisements a lot, and I signed up for their mailing list a few months ago. So finally I decided that I was going to give it a try because, like I said, it's such a common question. Now, I have my own rub that I use on a regular basis, and we'll go over that in a second. But this is Kosmos Rub, and the links below are my affiliate links that'll take you to Amazon, but you can also buy it directly from their page. This is not a sponsored item. I bought this with my own money, but I did reach out to the company and ask them for some advice for which ones to buy, and I got a reply in a couple of hours. So it wasn't like they were ignoring any comments or anything, which I really find to be nice, that somebody actually answers you when you say something. So let's first of all talk about what I use as my base spice for everything, including brisket. And then like when I do pork, I add a little garlic. But what this is what I call 3-2-1-1. So it's 3 parts pepper, 2 parts garlic, 1 part smoked paprika, and 1 part kosher salt. And I just mix it into a container. This one is pretty large, and I just mixed a little bit. I find that the larger containers are easier to keep them mixed because of the weights of different materials of the different spices. If you shake it up like this and set it down before you go to use it, it's all well mixed. If you use a really small container, it's hard to keep it mixed, and that was the problem I had in my other container. So the items that they recommended as their top sellers are called cow cover, SPG, which is salt, pepper, garlic, and some other added items, and Dirty Bird. Now, the Dirty Bird, I'm sure, is intended for bird, like chicken or maybe turkey and any other thing like a game hen or something like that. So just to be fair, I actually tried it last night on a chicken breast, but I only smoked it for a finish. I didn't actually smoke it for the whole period. I sous vide it for a while because I like to make sure that when I'm doing chicken breast that I get the meat completely done on the inside without drying it out. So anyway, we'll be using the Traeger pellet smoker today just because it's convenient and easy, and I went with an applewood just because I want to keep the flavor really mild. For my steak choice, we have 4 chuck steaks. They were on sale, and they were basically buy 2 get 2 free. So I figured, okay, I'll go with that. I really do like chuck for flavor, and as far as my current favorite, it is chuck roast right now over brisket or anything else. I like to prepare it in the same manner. So basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna coat this real quick. And so I'm gonna try to get it here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna lay out, get that, and then pat it down lightly and flip it over and repeat. And that's mine there. And then we've got the cow cover. And I'm gonna go the cow cover on this other large one, and ooh, it comes out kind of fast if you're not ready for it. So before I pat that down, I'm gonna do that, dump a little bit of that off. And then I'll flip it over, and yeah, we picked up most of that right there. Okay, done with the cow cover. And then the SPG. I also use the SPG on my breakfast this morning. And for me, it's a real big test to put it on something where I have cheese, because cheese is inherently really salty. And so if you add a spice with salt to that, you'll get a good idea if it's got a lot of salt in it. And this is probably on the edge of my salt level, but on beef, it'll probably work out really well like this. And then finally, the Dirty Bird. I'm putting the Dirty Bird on the piece with the biggest fat ribbon through the middle, because like I said, I gave it a fair trial on the chicken breast last night. And I have to tell you that on the trial that I gave it on the chicken breast last night, both me and my wife really loved it. I'll go ahead and pop a picture up there real quick and you can take a look at that, and then I'll flip this steak over while you're checking that out. I just basically covered it, put it in the sous vide at 145 and let it go for a couple of hours until it was done. And then I brought it out here and grilled it off on the Traeger. So you get about 375 tops for a few minutes, I think 20 minutes on each side. And then I flipped it over for 1 minute to make sure that it didn't have a bunch of juices on it. So take a look at that. And that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna touch this one with the Dirty Bird just a little bit more. Okay, and I'm trying not to kill them, but I want them all well flavored. So, next thing, always have my grill mats handy. So I'm just gonna put that grill mat in there about halfway. So, there. All right, so they're all in the smoker now, and again, I didn't kill any of them with seasoning, so they should have good flavor of the chuck, but still have all the seasoning in. So we're gonna run this all the way up. I'm gonna put it on 300, and then as soon as it gets up to temperature, I'll back it off down to 250 and then let it roll for a couple of hours. I'll keep a real good eye on it because I don't want the meat to get too well done. And after I take a look at it, I'll make a decision whether or not I want to sear it at all. Lately, I've been searing in a frying pan, but normally I would use my propane grill just to finish things off like ribs or whatnot. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, so here we're back again, and the steaks are ready to go. I just went ahead and turned the grill up a little bit so that way it can burn out. So I'll go ahead and pull those off. Went ahead and brought out a nice big cutting board. Get a nice look there. Some nice color to them. And I'm just going to leave that run on high so that way, like I said, it'll burn off a little bit. So first thing, they all look pretty good. They look like they could have used just a little bit more spice. So what we're going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut into the Dirty Bird one here. And the reason is because, like I said, I expect it to be a little compromised because this is not, it's for bird, it's not for beef. Take a look at that. All right, let's give it a little try. Chuck steak just works out so good smoked. It really, I mean, my overall favorite, of course, is ribeye, but I'll tell you what, the chuck just has a lot of body and a lot of flavor. So I'm going to cut another piece of this, and I'm going to try to just get a little bit along the edges a little bit more. I'll take another little look there. That's really good. Certainly can't be unhappy with that. So then next we're going to go with the cow cover. And this is the largest one here. I did already cut a little piece off the edge of this, so I have already sampled it, but I wanted to make sure the steaks were done the way I wanted them. Let me get the softer piece here. Go ahead and put that on the camera. All right. So I'm trying to get the spice in as I go. So I'm trying to taste it. I don't want to, you know, like just taste the meat by itself. Well, that's pretty good. All right. I'm going to have my wife test this when she gets home from work. She wouldn't go on the camera anyway, so there's no reason to do it any different. So this one's the traditional 3-2-1 one that I make myself. It's good. You take a look there. You can see the pieces of garlic there in the SPG. That's this one right here. So it definitely has more flavor going on than my traditional rub. But I don't taste any smoked paprika in this one. I'd have to add that. Just kidding. That's very good for a straight up steak seasoning, but I gotta tell you that I like both the Dirty Bird and I like the cow rub better. There's certainly nothing wrong with it. For dinner, I'll probably just have a salad. All right, we're going back to the cow rub again here. I think this is the best steak too. Yeah, that's really good. And here's the Dirty Bird again. So when I taste the difference between the two, there's a little bit of flavoring difference, but something else that I'm noticing is that there's like less seasoning for the Dirty Bird's just not as strong. I don't know how to describe it. I put It looked light. I put more on it, but then it still looked a little lighter. It tastes lighter. But certainly good. I'm going to say hands down, for me, the cow cover is definitely the number one out of what I got going here. But that Dirty Bird's really good. And you know, with the SPG, I don't see why you couldn't just use this as an everyday seasoning. It does have salt in it, and it's a little, on the beef it's just fine, but on salty things it might be a little bit much. And then of course, you know, you can make mine and it's just the basics, you know, but I always use mine as a starting point to jump off of. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk to my wife, and then I'm going to put a little graphic and see what she thinks. So on my little graphic here, I'm just going to make a table on my word processor, and we're just going to rate mine as a 5 and get a number from her up and down. So I'm going to say that I will take the cow cover probably as a 9, and then I'm going to go with the Dirty Bird as an 8, and then I'll go with the salt and pepper garlic, the SPG, as a 6, and my premix as a 5, just as a good baseline. We'll see what she says, and that'll be right here on the other side of the column. So I can definitely recommend this. This is real tasty stuff, and you can see what I've got here, and you can see I ate it, so I'm not, you know, hiding from it, and it is not sponsored. So you do you, whatever you want. But also, if you're just looking to do something for brisket, there's no reason you can't just make your own with something similar to this. And if you don't like smoked paprika, I'm not going to force you to put smoked paprika in every food that you make like I do, but you really need smoked paprika in every food. So anyway, just kidding with you. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. There's a link down below to an article talking about the rubs, and then also another link to my top beef rubs for different types of meat, including beef ribs and other things. And then you'll find affiliate links, including links to these products below. And the grill mat, you got to have grill mats if you're gonna grill. That's just, these things are just awesome. I'm gonna show you. All your mess is right there, and then you can just brush the grill off and you're done. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.